I want to welcome everybody to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Zurio, your host. As always, tonight I am joined by the
one that's trying to hide behind a mic.
the LA Dodger fan, the Beanie.
I feel like with the pop filter that he has on his mic and his beanie, that he could like put it in front of the camera and hide behind his mic. Just perfect.
Just about.
How's it going, all my nerds? Thank you guys for joining. What's up, guys? How's it going? I hope you guys have been well. I hope you've been safe. And what's up? Cool. Right on. Join us.
We're joined by the baby-faced one, Theo Walski.
What's up, everybody?
Boom. What is up, dude? Guys, what's going on? We got some news going on.
We got a lot to talk about
week.
Tonight, but
yes, we do.
I just got to say I got to give preface to the story. Like, the reason I have so much animosity right now for those that are listening home, and kind of give some backstory to those that are actually listening to just the audio on this. So Gerard showed up to the podcast wearing a LA Dodgers hoodie. He sucks.
I'm sorry. I sucks
for this.
And I took it.
Because I fired up my PlayStation for the first time in about a month.
It's so funny. And when you were describing it, like, dude, I just had this feel like inkling. I really wanted to get back into it. So I started up.
I started up even though the new game is coming out, in March. I started up a season of MLB The Show.
Who'd you play first?
Opening weekend at the Dodgers. I took game 1 and then got decimated.
Sup, yo?
In game 2 and 3. And he has the audacity to show up to this podcast and rub it in that I just still can't beat the Dodgers.
Okay. Also for the listeners, just understand that I did explain. I did just wash it, and it was like laying on my bed, just staring at me. And I just thought,
it was just mere coincidence. Conspiracy theories.
That's a sign, right? Like I can't not wear it. Like, come on.
Is that a sign? Though?
or was it just convenience that I just threw my?
It was convenience. It was
my laundry on my bed.
In other words, you had the angel and the devil on your shoulders, and you definitely listened to the devil.
No, both of them, because he's a Dodgers fan. Both of them were saying wear it.
Okay. Come on, just wear
it. The
angel
was wearing the Dodgers stuff at the same time.
Yeah, it really was. It was like, come on, bro. Like, you already know. Like, all right.
So, anyways, let's get to it, because there is a decent amount to talk about over, from the last week. And I think the news cycles are going to start getting more and more as we get closer to E3. But
it's still rough.
Last week,
it's still rough. It's still rough.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very rough.
Yeah.
But so last week we talked about DC and their roadmap, and James Gunn wanting to do the same actors doing movies, games, and TV. A lot of devs now have started coming out saying if that's the path that they're going to take, they don't want to work with DC for a couple reasons. So here's some of their examples. So one is you're gonna have to look at your budgets now, because you're gonna be taking these movie stars, like a Jason Momoa,
insane,
Henry Cavill, and you're gonna have to factor in that pay for the game now. So there's
only if you go with AAA. Only if you go with AAA. You could do some smaller names.
But no. Hold on. No.
Yeah.
If they're going with James Gunn's plan, you're going to have the same exact actor voicing them in the game, playing them on TV, and playing them in the movie. So that way, if you're doing a game and say it's Black Adam, right? So that means you're going to have The Rock in the movie, showing up on the TV show, and voicing the role in the game. So you're gonna have to factor in his salary.
Just thinking about that, like the salary for each one. Like,
I mean, it wouldn't be smart to continue with what's already been out. I mean, like if you do a brand new movie, or if you introduce a new Flash, you can start with Flash being the test person or test character for this.
Well, here's the other thing though, and this is something that they brought up, and I am going to be on the other side of the equation for devil's advocate with this, is look at Tara Strong. She has been the voice of Harley Quinn for years.
Oh yeah.
And has put in so much work into this. And now you're going to basically, if you go to do a new game that happens to tie into the DCEU, Tara Strong's not a part of it unless they're actually going to make her the Harley Quinn live action.
Yeah.
She's a tad short for the role, to be honest.
And also, if you think about it,
yeah,
how are those contracts going to work? Because
exactly,
one, like Marvel did a multi-picture deal because they were going to do, okay, your character's going to be like in this Avenger, this Avenger, this Avenger. But with DC, one, like, who knows if they're going to intertwine, because that's going to be the plan. But then, like, how many projects are they going to have to commit to in their one contract? Because they're going to want to do at least 2 games and at least a TV show for how many seasons are they going to plan? How is that going to work?
So I think that James Gunn's, as much as I admire him for what he wants to do, I don't think you should be throwing away the voice actors that have built. I mean, think about this. You do a Batman game. You have say Robert Pattinson is the official DCEU Batman, right? You're going to do a game and say Kevin Conroy, if he was still with us, right? Who's been Batman since he animated, he's been it in all the Arkham games and everything.
And who is quintessentially the Batman. You
are now saying the Batman is no longer Batman.
Yeah.
Because you want the same voice. You want the movie actor to be the voice in the game.
Yeah. That I certainly question, but
I don't like them throwing some of that stuff away. So unless they're going to let some of these games that, Tara and company can still be voices in, be part of their other verse or whatever they're calling it. Yeah. But if they're going to make official games, I think it's a bad move.
That's the same point that I made last week. You're narrowing the amount of available jobs for this adventure.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So,
and that was the glory of and that was the one thing that DC really still had going for themselves. The animated movies were great that were coming out.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't a fan of the New 52, but those I forgot those like Apocalypse War and all that, like they were good. They were interesting. They were fun to watch. And if we kept with the original actors that were cast in the live action, we're not going to get like the same dynamic or different performances that we would get from the voice actors. It's just, like you said, it's just narrowing those jobs. And it's just, it's unfortunate, but I'm still open to see what James Gunn brings to the table with the whole DCEU. But I do agree, Matt, that is something to relook at, because I don't know about that one either.
I can't imagine anyone in that medium outside of the TV. So basically just animated movies. I can't imagine anybody else playing Batman other than Kevin Conroy. I mean, whoever plays him next is going to have huge shoes to fill, right?
Yeah.
But 2 is I can't imagine Harley Quinn without Tara Strong.
Yeah. And for me, like, I've really loved Hal Jordan. I love Nathan Fillion as Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
I love that performance. And really, like Tim Daly for Superman. Like, come on, man. Like, I loved him as Superman.
Oh, Wings.
Right? Wings. Old school sitcom.
I will start bringing that. So yeah, it'll be interesting seeing what they do. But I certainly think we need to. I think he needs to revisit that in terms of the gaming side of the equation. Because I think
But,
to Deb's question,
yeah.
I mean, think about this, right? Could you imagine like God of War, right? And look at the big names that are in that, right? With Adam Harrington and Daniel Basutti and Chris Judge and all them. But like you look at how star-studded that cast was. Now imagine you're taking the cast of the Avengers and their salaries and putting them in a God of War instead. It's like, dude, that budget is astronomical.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I still say you don't do things that have already been established. Like you just do things that are new. And
well,
then
even
you can,
new though,
you
you
can figure out your budgets and contracts with that stuff, whether or not you're going to do a small actor that like seems to impress you, and then you can make a big contract for 10 years and still make your budget. Then yeah, maybe that might work. But I mean, you don't stick with these AAA actors that are gonna hit your budget dry and not be able to produce anything and finish a project. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I the only thing I would say is like at least let's be optimistic for the DCEU, because honestly, like it has a direction and this is exciting. So like
from a TV and a movie perspective,
yeah, I'd say definitely be
those would work together.
Optimistic, but
mine is
a few things to
if it's live
maybe
action
relook.
TV. If it's live action TV, I would agree. Voice acting,
also
I feel
that
like there's room.
Yeah,
I feel like
that
there's
too.
room.
Yep. So what there's not room for, great segue, is 9 live services games that have quit.
Just so our audience knows,
canceled.
since they can't see it or hear it, Matt feeds me cue cards for certain things to say so he can segue into these things.
Oh
Just
no,
a
he
little
just does it
behind the scenes
naturally
for
for me.
Just a little behind the scenes for you.
Dude, next, that just makes me want to make a sign and goes segue. So over the last week, there has been 9 games that have decided to cease production and all that. So Apex Legends Mobile, which I didn't even know there was a mobile game.
Oh yeah, it's been out for a little while.
Didn't know that either.
Battlefield Mobile, Crime Site, Crossfire X, Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Die, Echo VR, Knockout City, which has only been out for like a year-ish or so.
Is that the one with the rocket launchers?
That's a dodgeball game.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got Love Live, and then the other one is Rumbleverse, which is...
I know none of these games.
I gotta introduce this guy real quick. My man, Jason.
Speaking of segues, how's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? I'm late.
But oh man,
Get 'em.
but not too shabby in the entrance, baby.
My man.
Yep. These guys are priced for you.
Love it.
So, anyways,
is that me on recording right there? Like,
yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, dude.
my man. My man.
You're welcome.
My man.
Yes, dude.
You're welcome.
So, anyways, so with those live services games going away, I think it was just inevitable. You know, you had, Fortnite started that whole bandwagon, and everyone just jumped on it as fast as they could, making games as fast as they could, and you're just now finally seeing that it's not necessarily a great model for everybody, and it's just dissipating. So,
yeah.
So we'll see where further live services games go. There's now just the major ones, and Fortnite and
True.
FF14, Destiny. So, but yeah. So Jason, since you're now just joining us, we're going to give Xbox a little bit of shine right now.
Oh,
What, they got rid of Games of Gold?
Not that much credit. I mean,
not that much credit.
That's pretty late.
Don't
This
get
is like a
crazy.
millimeter of credit right now.
Yeah, don't get crazy. Jason.
Xbox dropped this today that they're coming out with a new controller, and I just want to give them credit because this controller is actually gorgeous.
Stellar Shift.
Stellar Shift.
I personally can't give them
And-
credit because they didn't come up with their own color. It's been done. It can be done on other controllers.
I mean,
Well,
I-
but
I don't like that they got rid of the button color, X, Y, A, B. That they all made it one color. I don't like that, but it's
You don't
it's
like that?
okay.
I think the
Yeah.
color scheme, like those different colors,
Yeah.
would clash with it completely. I
No,
like that they
think
made it
it's-
one
I think
solid
it's
color.
more like the old school, like the way they've always been having it, where the colors pop out for
yeah.
Mhm.
for
It's not bad.
those that may or may not know, but it's
The one thing I got to give it, the one thing I got to give Xbox credit for is when they do a controller color. I mean, they've got so many different colors that they've done that there's been duds, but when they do colors like that, they usually pop. Even if you're, not a fan of them or anything like that, you got to give them a little bit of credit. Like, yeah, you've got the cobalt for the PlayStation, that purple color, but it's not. I would love to see that on a PS5 controller.
I did buy the gray camo
color.
on Black Friday. That one's sweet.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, but then the Ragnarok controller is
Yeah.
also sweet.
So how many
Um,
controllers are you up to now? Is that 4?
Well, I just traded one in, so technically I had 5.
What do you need 5 controllers for, though, bro? Like,
right?
Because he invites us over all the time, guys.
all
Come
right,
on.
yeah, like
Yeah,
we
I
have-
get
Dude,
having
well,
two.
the plan is I usually always phase out the white controllers, the basic ones, because I
Mhm.
always have one in case I'm going to trade up if there's a Pro or a 6 or whatever. But
Can you trade in the consoles with
Actually, no, bro.
not
I-
included?
I still have
stuff?
a couple PS4 controllers I couldn't part with, bro.
No, I mean,
No,
like,
you can
so,
trade
like,
in.
let's say-
No, as long as
No,
it's
my
a
question-
console and a controller. That's all
Okay.
GameStop cares about.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
question was whether or not you could trade in a console with a different controller than what it came.
Oh no,
with.
you can, but I'm never going to give them like a custom or like a themed controller. What am I mad? No. I give-
Yes, you're very
Well,
mad. You're a very
you
mad
haven't.
person.
You have not had your company mandated Psyche Val. It's been
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Yeah.
like
They keep
like,
throwing
I
me
have I have
Sorry,
two controllers.
I've been slacking on that with Jerry. He and I will have a session next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand having
It's
two
the
controllers.
crazy giving
Is that-
crazy therapy here.
You have
No,
one.
Agent
You have
K-
one
Agent-
charging. You have
Agent
one
K.
playing. Like,
Yep.
good to
Agent
go.
K
Dude.
says to go get
What
your
the
evals.
hell?
No, dude, I keep 2 charging while one's playing, so I rotate. That's why I always just have 3. But
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
why I wait. I wait for the themed ones that I really
Like,
So
how
want.
you're-
much are you
so-
playing, bro? Like, you need to charge.
Do they
2
die that
controllers.
fast? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
the reason you have to worry about liquid metal leaking out of the PS5.
But I
Um,
keep mine on its side, so I've been good. Like I'm
Okay.
single, so there. Like that's why.
Hey, I don't mean nothing. I'm single too, and I don't play.
You just got to get out more.
yeah, but yeah.
All right.
So I
So-
play. Yeah, I'm single,
All right.
man. No,
Those
I'm
Red
just
Dead
kidding.
hours, man. Those Red Dead hours.
It's so
Right.
enjoyable and it's so soothing.
Just
You know what I mean?
fishing.
Yeah, just fishing
anyway,
or hunting.
so today Nintendo announced that they're going to have a direct tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Curious, very
As
curious.
usual, Nintendo dropping it the day before.
Mhm.
They are going to focus on games that are coming out in the first 6 months of the year.
Please, a full trailer of Zelda.
So,
please.
Everybody is saying it should be Tears. We
Oh
should
my
be seeing some
God,
of that.
please give me a
But
gameplay. See some-
a lot of people are just going, "Hey, what can we expect?" So
and the collectors.
chances are you're probably going to see the Zelda OLED.
Okay,
You're going to
probably.
see Tears, and whatnot. Maybe a collector's edition. Now, online pricing wise, people have looked at it, and I'm working on confirming it on the eShop right now to see if it's truly the price. But somebody put out a picture from the eShop that it was going to be $69.99 for Zelda,
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
where it was going to be $59.99 at Amazon, Best Buy, and GameStop.
So the
So,
physical is cheaper, sir?
well, no, I'm not saying that. What I am saying though is Nintendo in a position right now at the end of the life cycle to actually put up
Two different.
a game at just put up a game at $69.99 for a new Switch game. Regardless. So I think it's probably gonna end up still being $59.99, but we'll see. Because that screenshot was put
Yeah.
up by Wario64, and he is
Tends to be right.
hardly
Yeah.
ever wrong.
But then that could always
So-
just pivot to being like a deluxe or collector's edition. You never know.
Yeah. Well, no.
Right.
Or it could be the season pass, the DLC pass with the game
Oh, that too.
or whatever too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So outside of Zelda and seeing all of that, what would we like to see out of the direct tomorrow?
Well, we
One.
already know what Jerry wants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tears for sure is going to
Yeah.
definitely make its appearance.
Yep.
I feel that Bayonetta is going to make an appearance as well. More of that.
Because
Yeah.
that's not coming out for another
And
Well, that's
Origins, I would say too,
Yeah.
right? I would say that one is
Bayonetta Origins. Yep.
like another, at least another
Um,
trailer.
Yeah, because
And
that one's going to come out just like right around the corner. Actually, it's not that. That's not.
Yeah, I
that
think
far.
it's
And,
March.
yeah,
Is it March or April?
Mid-March, I think.
Okay.
It's March. I want three things. I don't think I'm getting any of them, but I want Wind Waker, Twilight Princess,
Ugh, no,
No.
and
no.
Metroid
It's not
Prime.
happening.
No.
It's
Okay,
not
I,
happening.
Not at all.
okay. I was gonna bring that up.
Sorry, dude,
I
it's not
was
happening.
gonna think like maybe a teaser. It's been worked on for a while. I was
Well,
thinking
no.
be a
I'm not
teaser.
talking about Metroid Prime 4. I'm talking Metroid Prime. Because
Oh,
they're
no.
going to start
Oh, no.
building up. They're going to start building up to Metroid Prime 4. Get Metroid Prime out.
I would
Just
be
give us
very
support.
surprised.
Yeah, I'd be
I'd
surprised.
be
They're
very
probably going to add more to the retro collection. You know, the Nintendo,
at least,
Super Nintendo.
The 64 because the
Yeah.
64 is a little light.
Those, yeah, those three probably going to get a few more games added to the catalog.
this
Other than that,
is a good.
I-
Hey, you guys are on segues tonight. I love this. We should call you guys Paul Blart.
You're really good with those cue cards, man.
I
So
know.
good.
Just
right.
Thank you,
know,
baby.
just-
Because
line
a
'em up.
collection.
knock them down.
So Jason's talking about adding to collections.
yeah,
PlayStation's taking away.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
right.
anybody that has PlayStation 5 and PlayStation Plus pretty much all got an email.
Mhm.
And it reads the PlayStation Plus collection is closing from May 9th. The PlayStation Plus collection will no longer be available as PlayStation Plus benefit. You can add any of these titles from the PlayStation Plus collection to your game library before May 9th and play at any time in the future with an active PlayStation Plus membership.
Mhm.
PlayStation Plus game catalog, monthly games, and other existing benefits will not be affected by this change. Thank you for your continued support for PlayStation Plus. So for those that are unfamiliar with the term PlayStation Collection, it was for anybody with PlayStation Plus that had PS5 had the ability to get a bunch of games for free from PlayStation. And those,
with
those
the
games-
basic subscription.
with the
Mhm.
basic
Yeah,
essential
was-
PlayStation Plus,
which
which
was
is
such a
huge.
sweet move. Yeah, that was such a sweet move that
So-
they included a nice little batch of games that you could really take your time on.
So let's
for
go over
free.
these.
Yeah,
Okay. Bloodborne,
awesome.
Days Gone,
Started it, but now distracted. But awesome.
Yep. Detroit Become Human, fantastic game. God of
Need to
War
start it.
2018,
Obsession,
Infamous Second Son, great
also
game.
amazing. Yes.
Ratchet and Clank. Now that's the movie adaptation reboot one that not the
Is-
Rift Apart.
Okay, so jog on.
okay.
Wait, you know what though? It was fun. Anyway, so Last Guardian,
Great.
Interesting.
Amazing.
I need to play it.
Oh.
Yes.
So good.
Last of Us Remastered. Now, this is the one that it was originally on PS3, then came to PS4. It is not Last of Us Part 1 remake.
Still, another
You're
obsession.
getting Last of Us for free. Okay. Until Dawn,
Eh,
which was another one of those
Great for its
choose your
great,
own
great
adventure
for
type
its,
things.
its type. Yeah, great for its type.
Yeah. Uncharted 4.
You know,
Last obsession. One more obsession.
Do not even come around here with that. All right, and
Yeah,
then
don't
from
you dare.
third-party publishers, you had Batman: Arkham Knight,
Another obsession.
Battlefield 1,
Yeah, it was all right.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which
Okay.
Jerry has PTSD from.
Yeah,
So
it's okay.
you had Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy,
Sweet.
Fallout
Yeah.
4. You had Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, which is the one that had all the DLC with it.
Sweet.
Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat 10, Persona 5, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Zombies.
And that's the standard, and it's not the gold edition.
But that's a sweet catalog.
That's
though.
a huge list that we all got for free.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset with
add
them.
it to your library. Everyone, add it to your library if you have access before it's too late.
So I'm not some of those games I was like, Battlefield and all of that. But
who knows?
I went ahead and just added them to my library. They're part of your PlayStation Plus benefits. So we got a ton of games for free. Just when you look at it, right? Just for getting a PlayStation
You're the
5.
picky one. I'm sorry.
He's the picky one. But that said, there's definitely some great games in there. I know, Days Gone had a really bad launch. It really did. There was a lot of bugs and everything that had to be fixed in it. Now, from what everyone has said,
it's looking
now
good.
that
It's good.
Fixed, it's great.
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human. That is by far my favorite Quantic Dream game.
I need to finish.
And is fantastic. It really is. And then, of course, there's God of War, which we can't say enough for the God of War cast and everything. So, it's on one hand, it's sad, but on the other hand, I don't mind it because we've had access to this for 2 years now, going on a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
So given that these games, as long as you go add them to your library, they're yours as long as you have PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
Just like every other monthly game you've got.
Yeah. I was about to say, it's just the same as every other one. As long as you put it in the library, you're good. You keep that subscription, and
the monthly games are still going to be
coming out.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So just the collection, I guess. Yes.
Yeah.
Which we talked about it last week, and the rumors were true. So everything that we talked about last week, we got. And it doesn't surprise me that Destiny Beyond Light was on there because Lightfall is coming out here soon, which we know Theo is anxiously awaiting for.
Bro, also Theo, you got to text me when you're going on because I keep forgetting on Wednesdays.
I didn't make it last Wednesday, so you're good.
Oh, okay, cool. I started playing as well. It's getting great, getting good.
Now, I do want to. We did talk about it at the beginning of the show. Jason missed this, but MLB The Show 22 and 23. So one of the great things I've loved about the show and why it's always been one of my favorite baseball franchises is that San Diego studio pays an incredible amount of respect to the history of the game.
There we go.
Gotcha. And it was announced this week that they're bringing the Negro Leagues to MLB The Show 23. So we're talking the historical Negro Leagues. Like Satchel Paige.
Oh, sweet.
You're going to be able to play in the Negro Leagues, which is huge.
Wow. When you come to think of it, it's been quite a long time.
It has. And they have contributed so much to the history of the game. They've made baseball, what it is. And it just, I love what they're doing with it. So that is, when I saw that, it was yet another reason for me to just go ahead and, as much as I always say I'm never going to get the next season because it's just whatever, I pre-ordered 23. But when you look at it, right, is Jackie Robinson came from the Negro Leagues. If it wasn't for him smashing that barrier, I think baseball would be a completely different game now. So you're gonna have storylines, but you're gonna get Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, John Donaldson. I mean, Buck O'Neill, Hank Thompson. I mean, a lot of these guys that broke barriers that made it what it is. So hats off to San Diego studio for putting that into the game. They didn't have to, but you know what? It's great that they are. So now, Jason, I got to ask you, because we all kind of discussed Top Show. Are you caught up on a certain small little indie project on HBO called The Last of Us?
Episode 3. I finished episode 3, so I don't know if
there's you're not caught up, sir.
Yes,
yeah, fourth one was yesterday.
Fourth dropped on Sunday. Which four was great just because we got the voice of Tommy on screen.
I mean, like I said, we normally watch it tonight. That's why.
So
gotcha.
For those that don't have HBO Plus Max, or they're going to wait till later on, for the next few minutes, we are going to talk some Last of Us episodes.
Spoilers.
So a little spoilers here and there.
I mean, are there spoilers if they probably played the game?
That's
yes.
Okay,
yes. Technically, yeah.
There are a little, just like how you guys were saying, 90%. 90%. I bet that 10%.
But that's the thing, though. I love that. That's the percentage, because that's exactly what I agree. 90%, absolutely. Yeah. But it's the 10% that makes it great.
Absolutely. The artistic difference, the emotion, the human emotion, the human,
and also makes sense, especially for episode 4. It's going to make sense.
I'll be interested to hear Jason's perspective on episode 4.
Yeah.
Episode 4, that's the first episode I actually have beef with.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of assume why, but I think.
Okay, we will have to revisit next week.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is, and it's not going to ruin anything, is location. That's it.
Okay, that's fair.
That's my beef with it.
I have beef, but that was because there was a particular character not included, and I really wanted to see it. But we'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week. But I want to talk about 1 through 3. So I want to say this. I was talking to my wife in the car as we were coming home, and we were talking. I was like, "Hey, she was saying, hey, our next show is I need to watch Game of Thrones with her." Okay. Once we're done with Supernatural, which we're on the back third of season 14, so we've got that in season 15, and we're done with Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something else we got to watch. No, it only went up through 15. Now they are talking about doing a potential 16, which don't get me started there. But she said, "Well, next show you should watch with me is Game of Thrones." And I said, "Oh, by the way, we have HBO Max back." And even though, yes, HBO Max does encourage sharing passwords, and one of us has a password we could share, I didn't want to wait around trying to figure out passwords and stuff. I wanted to watch The Last of Us this weekend. So I fired up our subscription. But this is, when it comes to adaptations of video games, this has got to be one of the closest and most accurate to the source material. That being said, Neil Druckmann is writer and producer on the show, so it does help.
Right. But, rightfully so.
But I will say this, for me, it's the expansion on the characters that is hitting home the most. Like, you see the relationship between Joel and Sarah.
Yeah.
You get to see that whole day leading up to things.
Yeah. And
it makes it more tragic.
Even the back and forth, like, how like the start of the game, it's literally the start of the game. So it's obviously it had to be the start of the series. But the whole back and forth with Sarah and Joel, like, I know this is going to turn into a Last of Us podcast now. Jesus Christ, guys.
Yeah, it is. Why not?
But like, I mean, the back and forth is just amazing because, even they take lines from the game, like just straight up. Yeah. I was laughing my ass off when she was like, yeah, I sell drugs, hardcore drugs. you know, and I was waiting for Joel to be like, oh, good, you can start paying for the rent or stuff like that. And I was waiting for it, but you know, it didn't. And I was like, okay, it's okay, it's okay. But they use game lines, they use literally the whole. You can put them side by side and it would look exactly the same, and it's just uncanny that they're doing that much like attention to detail.
Seeing part of Ellie's story, like how she was being like kind of treated before you kind of pick her up in the game. Like I love that part. It's like you actually get to see why there is some of that angst for her. You know, and whatnot. But I have to say, Nick Offerman's performance in episode 3. Holy crap.
Please, sir.
Episode 3 hit hard because you know, in the game, you don't get a ton of backstory on Bill.
No.
It was so great.
Bill
about that third episode
is so disgruntled and hating the world, right? And you never really understand why.
Right.
Now you have the why.
Yeah.
And especially we get to know more about Frank. And you know,
and
you know, I and that would talk about Easter eggs, man. The subtle hints, because the one thing about Frank was that he loved those, you know, crappy Hawaiian shirts, and that was such a great nod in the show. But it was great he was more fleshed out as a more like more of a character, and you got to see
how
the relationship.
Yeah, and how they met Tess and Joel.
Oh my God, you know, that was hilarious. I love that interaction where he just like, would you put the gun away? Okay. Yeah. And then like, no.
The best part, I loved it, was the best part is when they go out to the garden and he's like, strawberries. Like, how'd you get those? I traded one of your guns for him. Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
But you know, when you look at the castings, everybody is spot on. Like, we know Pedro Pascal. We know what he's capable of. You know, he's capable of playing Mario.
Jeez, SNL skit.
I have to say that, dude, the whole SNL episode, he did a good job. That was good.
Can we just replace Chris Pratt with Pedro Pascal? Let him go record the
They make me feel big.
Right?
Dude, so good.
Hold on.
It was quick.
And making the Goombas clickers was so
right.
Fantastic. It's hilarious.
But
so funny.
You know,
shoes for legs.
But honestly, there's, you know, Bella Ramsey, the more I watch this show, the more I look at Ashley Johnson's praise for her, that she is Ellie, and she is
like, she's
Ellie.
she really is embodying the character. The more and more like I'm watching the episode, I'm kind of like laughing with myself, like, man, totally, that was totally Ellie.
Yeah.
Like there are so many of those moments when like, damn, like that was Ellie. Cool.
She's the museum. Great. Yeah, the museum scene was hard though too, because it's like they didn't show enough of the whole going through the museum and everything. But it's like you knew the second they went into that museum.
The darker room, you knew like, oh, we're finally gonna see him. Like, and they did not disappoint, man.
Yeah. It was kind of.
Oh yeah, they look fantastic.
So when we talk about changes, right? How do you guys feel the fact that at the State House, it was a horde that she basically was blowing up instead of it was the TRF?
I like that it was the horde primarily because of how they went about notifying the horde, with how they took the creative freedom to really make the virus more kind of like a living plant, and that it's a hive mind type of deal. And that was very cool for a change that I saw.
I think from a game perspective, that would have been a great addition. But but the other thing why I think it didn't work between game and show was because technically the FDRA Is that correct? The
Fedra?
FDR.
Is it the FDA?
Fedra?
Or is
Yeah,
it
Fedra.
TRF? Yeah, Fedra.
Fedra. When they got to the museum and entered, they stayed within the museum. They didn't continue and follow. So like game perspective, I like Theo said, I really like the idea of the horde because it gives you that angst. Like, we've got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, gotta go, leave me. Like it added to that depth of the emotion from that episode. And then the silence and the pause when the infected sees Tess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
God, man. Oh my God. And another addition were the tentacles. That I think that was another clever addition. Because that counters the spores, right? I think.
Yeah, it does. Because like
It is.
we were talking about it. We're like, they're just walking around all willy-nilly. Like normally they have the masks
that's
on.
right.
Right.
Yeah, it's easier to like visually portray it, and it's not something that's completely airborne, although it is like transferable, you know.
Yeah,
that was a good thing.
But man,
I kind of like
I love the additions.
Yeah, how they did the museum scene with the clickers, obviously, rather than the people, because you're setting up this world for those that don't play the game. You're setting up this apocalyptic world. You're setting up the.
Now, have you guys seen what the actual virus, what the fungus looks like in insects?
No, not yet. But just to go on though, like it's
it's insane, bro. And this is real.
This is real. So the cordyceps fungus actually exists in the insect kingdom, and it literally takes over the minds. So what they were talking about at the beginning of episode 1, where it kind of takes over the mind, eats it from the inside, and all of that. This is legit science. This is what it's based on.
Yeah.
And it basically figured out a way to jump genomes from insects to humans. And it literally starts tentacles and everything. And this is where the spores are. It is like,
this is the first time I've seen.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, damn, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know, this is what the tentacles coming out of it. And now you can kind of start seeing, like, here's another example of it, you know, in a spider. And it looks, you can see exactly where Naughty Dog got their inspirations.
Yeah.
And how rooted in science this game really actually is.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of episode 1, when they say basically if it jumps to humans, we're screwed. Yeah. I have no doubt if it jumps to humans, we are absolutely screwed.
Yeah. I mean, but that's why I like that with the clickers instead. It's just because you need to have this whole setup that there aren't that many people that are going to be going like hand over foot.
I think they also utilized, well, technically there were a couple clickers in that level in the game. I think they just emphasized more on the clickers to, like you said, Jason, to set the tone.
Yeah, you have to set the tone. You have to set like, oh, there is still a bunch of them out there.
Because there was like a whole zombie outbreak. I think there were 2 clickers and then 1 infected that ran, or 1 or 2 infected.
Yeah.
So but like you said, it set the tone. Like, oh man, these are out there.
This is how like wild it's become versus like, oh, there's a bunch of people. Like, why are they all chilling in the
and
museum?
that's
like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I do love the back, like everything they've set up set pieces wise. Now we'll talk, next week about episode 4. Because
Jeez, Jason.
it is
Last of Us. No, I just laugh because it's like it's gonna be a Last of Us podcast now.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm back on my PlayStation tonight again. But I just love everything. I just love everything they're doing with this. And even with episode 4 having the location issue, it's still an amazing episode. And this show, week after week, is getting more viewers.
The beef that I have with episode 3, though.
Okay.
One, it was really touching. Both me and my wife were like almost like, damn, like we felt in the feels. But the one thing that I am disappointed was that we were not able to get the interaction with Bill and Ellie. That's what I was like.
Okay, so Jason, that is valid. I will agree with you on that. Real
That's where I'm
quick, I want to
saddened a little
say,
bit. It's not.
Yep.
It's as playing the game and then watching it. That's why I'm like, man, like that interaction would have been like
so
the best.
there's two things. There's actually two other things we missed with that too, right? Granted, one, there is that interaction with Bill and Ellie, especially when they go down in his armory.
Yep.
You know, when he's saying don't touch anything and what.
Yeah.
Two is we didn't get to see Joel hanging from a rope.
Yeah.
And chain and you know, and having to figure out that piece. Three, we didn't get the high school.
Yeah, we didn't get the bloater.
Yeah.
We didn't get the bloater.
But
And I
they
would have
did
loved
mention
to have
it
seen
in episode
Yeah.
1, though.
They
but
did.
I would have loved to have
But-
seen that on screen.
Yeah.
And I just want to just say, hey, shout out to Lady Mythicals who's joined us in chat. And yes, it is pretty wild to see the cordyceps, you know, and what they're actually capable of doing. And when you look at the designs of Naughty Dog and how much they are reflective
Thank you for
in
joining.
nature. But outside of that, though, I still love the episode. You know, yeah, we missed some pieces, and you're not going to get a full 100% one-to-one translation of the game to the show. As much as we would love that. So they do have to make some creative changes to that. So I think, you know, doing without the high school is okay. I just would have loved to have seen the bloater.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have seen them making their way through the houses to get to Bill's place. And then from Bill's place to getting
But
out,
all of
right?
that's a lot of filler
That's
in
a
the
lot.
It is a lot
That's
of
a
it is a
lot.
lot of
True.
filler.
to where
But
like I agree. I would love to see all that too, but I think when it comes to a budget from a show, they have to
Oh, yeah.
start like condensing episodes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but dude, yeah, but
Just
I like
a little bit
I
of
would've-
interaction with those
I
two
know,
would've
man.
been
I would have at least
oh
had
yeah.
an
Dude.
episode of going through the school, at least like them going like another
just-
intense episode, and then
Yeah.
somber
I
with
would
the
have loved to
relationship.
Jason's point though, right? When they see the armor and he's got the whole wall of guns, and Ellie's like,
they did have a
He's
good back
literally
and
just
forth.
touching
I would've
it.
loved-
He's literally,
I
she's
would've
literally
loved
touching
Bill
everything,
going-
and he's like, "What? Stop touching
stop
things!"
touching, you know, and she's like, but it's a whole wall of guns.
Like, how can you
Um,
not touch it?
But I do love the upgrade they did for the armory though. It was more felt on point with the apocalyptic tone, right? You
Yeah.
have a full blown instead of he just has like a workshop in the game, right? In
Well,
this,
it
it's a
sets-
full blown armory.
Yeah, it sets Crazy Bill's whole mentality, like
exactly.
and seeing it like visually versus
Yep.
just going through and like, oh yeah, he sets up traps here and there, traps here and there. No, like
Yeah.
this guy is going like,
like
straight up.
they did a realistic thing where he
Yeah.
he was a prepper. He was
Yep.
a,
Mhm.
you know, that's a thing.
Survivalist,
Also,
sir.
Absolutely.
list.
Yep.
Once again,
Survivalist.
they did their research where it was awesome. I you know, we saw the traps and the fence and everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
On top of the relationship in episode 3 was just, I think, a good direction because we got
So-
a little bit more.
Jason, you're gonna have 2 episodes between now and Tuesday to watch.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, because you've got Sunday's episode, which you said you normally watch tonight.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is airing on Friday because the Super Bowl's on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they're moving
Okay.
it up to Friday. So
Ah.
come next week, we've got 4 and 5 to talk about.
All right. I'll talk to my wife, see if we can just push it up and just watch it over the weekend or something.
Yeah, just do it over the weekend. Just be like,
Yeah.
it's just one time, baby. It's just one
we,
time.
We
Just
work
come
on
on.
weekends, so we work weekends, sir. We
You know,
then
I need
you
some-
get to see 2
That's when you
episodes.
say, hey, I need some relaxation time. Can we watch some Last of Us Part Season 5?
Are you kidding me?
Or
Like,
episode 5. So anyway, so since we haven't gotten to talk about it, Theo, what you been playing?
Well, I've even though I'm really excited for Lightfall, I'm a little burnt out on the grind to prepare for Lightfall right now.
Okay.
Because there's nothing going on right now, and most of the stuff is just like trying to finish moments of triumphs of 2022
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm a little burnt out. Otherwise, I haven't really been playing much, to be honest. Been ramping up the archery training since World
Mhm.
Trials and Olympic Trials are this year.
okay.
Nice.
Okay.
and then in the bowling league. So
Sweet.
Yeah. being an old guy at 34, 35, 34.
Very cool.
Oh,
Okay.
please.
Old guy.
Please, you young buck.
Yeah.
What about you,
Jason?
Matt? Or
Oh.
Jason?
I'm
Jason?
gonna go Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, me. I am on the road to 100 on Ragnarok.
Nice, bro.
All I have
Nice.
left is the trials, and then I'll be finishing off the random trophies. So I am
Sweet.
100%ing that right now. When
The
I'm
trial,
not,
the trials are very exactly what it
It's-
sounds like. It's
I mean, it's just
They weren't that hard.
annoying. They're not
Oh,
hard.
it was repetitive. It was just a little repetitive. I just got
I
like
don't like this repetitive. I have to do
okay,
this over
next
again.
one.
Like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
I'm like,
especially when you
okay,
got to do the 9.
yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
It's
okay,
like,
I
you have
do
to do
2
it as-
again, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
please kill me. So I'm like trying to do those
Jesus,
super
now.
quick,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
and I wish I could just like stockpile them all, and then be like, okay, but whatever. Yeah, beat the Valkyrie Queen, beat the Berserker King. The King was
Sweet.
difficult. It was harder for me than the Queen, which was annoying.
Can I admit something? I lowered the difficulty on the games just so I could finish him.
Oh,
Oh no
sir.
way.
Yeah.
Give me
was-
no
okay.
mercy. Give me
So
no
here's
mercy.
it was one of those things that I was just getting so frustrated that I'd get him all the way down to just about I just need one shot to kill him, and then all of a sudden out of the blue he just one shots you and kills you.
Bifrost armor, man. That
Um,
Bifrost armor.
Yeah. Well, it was even it wasn't even the Bifrost. It was just him just all of a sudden just changing up his pattern.
No,
and
like
it killed me.
you get the Bifrost armor,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
to
you get-
to help counter it. Helps
I
you
don't-
last a
well,
little.
no, I didn't know. No, I just straight up got mutilated by that like his armor when he goes down to the last 2 bars.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh,
Have you beaten the King yet, Jerry?
no.
Okay,
No. I
so
got distracted.
Spoiler for you, Jerry. When he gets down,
Oh no, it's okay. I've watched many
Yeah.
gaplay on how
Pro
to beat
tip.
it. Yeah.
when he gets
I
to 2 bars.
pairing.
Yeah, so but yeah, so I've just been doing that. When I am off PlayStation 5, my wife is on and she's playing Dead Space. The remake.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
nice. It is good.
And it
It's-
looks good.
Oh, like it
Mhm.
is not the same Dead Space from
No,
PlayStation.
dude, I'm getting all new jump scares. I'm loving
Yeah,
it.
she is
It's
like, oh my
good.
goodness, it is more in
And
depth.
then and like, dude, moment it gets dark, we're like, oh shit, like,
Oh yeah.
hey, well, flashlight, Jesus, like
So
this
she
is dark, like,
she is
yeah,
enjoying the hell out of that right now. And then yeah, just those two. Watching TV shows, trying to finish off Walking Dead.
oh, sweet.
That last season.
There you
So
go.
like I'm finishing off. And
Matt, what about you?
Matt,
I'm gonna let you go first, Gerard, because
Oh, you want me to go?
what have you been playing? Yeah, I want you go first.
Well, I was playing Dead Space. I started Dead Space, and I started Forspoken. I did give that a chance, and I do have to say, give it a chance if you are willing to buy it like used or something, because
So you bought it because you tried the demo, right? And you weren't too much
I
of a
was
fan of
not
demo.
sold. I was not sold at all until I found out that the patches really gave it more of muster for the game. But I would say it's got its issues, but it's also got its pros too. So it's
Still
definitely
something
like
to kind of sit on a little bit.
definitely I would sit on. I would definitely sit
Okay.
on until if you want to try it, buy it used if you want to take the chance.
or when it's on
Or-
sale on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the reason I stopped playing those because I got distracted because I'm killing it in Charms class right now at Hogwarts, baby. That's right, Ravenclaw. I'm so excited, dude. It's so much
You
fun.
actually got Ravenclaw?
Oh no, dude! I took the test and I stuck with what I got
Oh, okay.
in the Hogwarts fan club. Yeah, so I am a Ravenclaw. Yeah, I got my Patronus.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
yeah, right.
What's your
on, Matt.
what's your
Couple
Patronus?
It's a God. It's a dog. I forgot what kind of dog though.
Oh, okay. I don't actually know what house I'm in. I've never taken the quiz. I still say that I end up in Slytherin, but we'll find out one day.
Let's see.
So-
West Highland Terrier.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. But I have to say, like, dude, the so far from what I found out too, like the tutorial is around 2 hours out. Like after 2
Jeez,
hours,
what the heck?
you
That's
are
crazy.
officially like let off
Free
the
to
leash
go
and you can
everywhere?
explore.
Okay.
Yeah. But this, like, dude, already the first hour that I played last night, because I got so tired, but it was like the straight up the beginning of a Harry Potter movie. Like it was, the story was already engaging. It was a lot of fun. The tutorial really is a lot of fun because I'm going through classes, and that's part the fun of it. Like I'm still going through the tutorial and I'm learning like from the classes. So it's like it's a lot of fun. So
I mean, that's just feels like a very long tutorial handhold, you know, like.
but I think it's like such a fun way setting up your character to get to that starting point before they unleash you. Because like I said, dude, it's engaging when I'm going to my first class.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, like, even
yeah.
because like Persona has that kind of like
I mean,
opening
in all
because it's
fairness,
like classroom
Breath of-
and then not classroom.
Breath of the Wild. Think about how long that tutorial was.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly. And that really
That was longer
like,
than 2 hours.
and technically that was really like, okay, like explore. There wasn't a tutorial.
Right.
But it really was a tutorial because you got your first 3, you know.
Well, right. That was a tutorial,
abilities,
but it was done in a very different way. It was more like
correct.
explore, but which I also really loved. But yeah, dude, guys, high recommend already. Like it's fun. It really is.
Yes.
Yeah. And Matt, what about you, bud?
So as we know, I was on a Breath of the Wild run. That is now
You're not a little distracted.
I have now been I've been distracted like Jerry, and Fire Emblem Engage came out, and
nice.
I was all about playing that. I'm on chapter 13 of that.
Ooh, nice.
I have units that are just absolute tanks. Theo, you would appreciate this. 2 of my absolute workhorses are my archers.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I have them spec to the point where they can just about one-shot anything.
That's right.
And my primary archer is set up in a way that she has a 67% chance to crit every time she attacks.
There you go.
When she crits, she's hitting for 220 points of damage right now with
Very
one arrow.
Cool. Very cool.
So I'm loving Fire Emblem Engage. From a story perspective, I still like the story from Three Houses better. But from a quality of life gaming mechanics, I love Engage because it took out some of the extra stuff from Three Houses that you really didn't need to do and made the game tedious. It's gone. So it's kind of struck that perfect balance between old and Three Houses, and it's really good. But that said, the PS5 got fired up though.
It's a rocking right now.
And it is rocking, and it is MLB The Show 2022. Just to get me kind of back into the groove of playing again, because when 23 drops, I'm going to be all over 23. Last of Us Part 1 remake. And I have to say that because I just am going through those neighborhoods after you leave Bill's Armory in the game, I now have a much bigger appreciation for Bill after watching episode 3 and everything we're going through, and some of the comments he makes, the way he says it, you can see now why.
Even from the game, Bill's dialogue was top notch from the game.
Oh, it was.
And I love the actor too, because he was in Justified in Deadwood. He's an amazing actor.
Nick Offerman.
But now we get the why behind some of it though. And then on sale, I did partake in the Critics' Choice, and I bought NHL 23.
Sweet.
Okay.
I started playing a little bit like that.
You can play some hockey.
Honestly, it made me feel like back in the day of playing like NHL 94 and all that on the PS1. Just that nostalgia of, you score that goal and you're like, yes, and then it's like you get hit with penalty after penalty, and then they score, and you're like, okay, now I got to come back. And when you get that goal in overtime and you're like, you just like that feeling just when you score a goal in hockey on those games is just there. So been playing that. I tried a little bit of NBA 2K23. Not impressed with it because if there's an update, they force you to basically back out of the game and update your game.
Oh.
And it puts a
even mid game, like if you were already like playing.
So I went to start a game and it put up a big red box in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen that says you need to back out and go update it. That stays there the whole time. So think about this.
Annoying.
It's covering up players and everything.
Yeah.
And then it's constantly asking you to create a my player profile, which is annoying to me. If I tell you I don't want to create one, you shouldn't be constantly asking me for it. So
you sure you don't want to make a my player profile?
Right.
Okay.
Because if you create a my player profile, then you have access to the my player store. Then you can buy any pack and possibly get a chance of a rare Michael Jordan card.
Ooh, whatever.
Right.
But so it's 146 gig install file got deleted off my PlayStation. I was like, I don't have time. It's 146 gig.
That's
for that install file.
Damn.
Not even God of War is that big.
Nope. But well, that makes sense for sport. Yeah, sports games are large.
Like MLB The Show is not even that big.
I know. What do you put in there, man? Like 2 games?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Think about it. MLB The Show, you have 30
true.
players per team when you're playing.
Actually,
Plus
no, that's
the minors.
No, you're right. Yeah. Not for sports games, but that's for like. Yeah, Modern Warfare.
General,
Okay, Gran Turismo is that high. GT7's that high. And I can understand Gran Turismo
but that makes sense
because you have all the cars,
and
all the maps,
the parts,
scenery,
all the models,
everything.
scenery, blah blah blah.
So I can understand.
Damn, that is a lot.
But no, the PlayStation is fired up. I'm continuing with my Easter egg. So I am going to, one of the things I've also been jonesing for is I'm going to start doing a little bit more virtual photography again. I was going through some of the old shots and stuff I've done from like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff, and I'm like,
you got some good ones from Ghost and Ace Combat. You had some good ones from Ace Combat.
Yeah, I think Ghost of Tsushima is some of my best stuff.
Those were good.
I still have to play that, man. I still have to.
How have you not played Ghost of Tsushima?
Dude,
really?
My backlog of great games is large.
Dude, boo boo, move that up. Move that up in the catalog, bro.
Sir.
Dude, yeah, no joke. Like you'll thank us.
Really. I'm behind, and it's tough to find like time.
That's true.
We'll just say Sekiro was great training, and you'll.
Oh my god, you're gonna dismantle the game.
Just
because you platinum that damn game. I still have anxiety from that game, bro. I want to start it. I really do.
Dude, like it made God of War so much easier. Honestly.
That's so great.
Like what Gary was talking about, right?
Sweet, bro.
Here's one of my shots from Ghost of Tsushima, and then let me switch over to this other one here. And this is still one of my favorite shots I've ever done in any game.
Oh, nice.
Spoilers.
How is this a spoiler? There's no characters, there's no nothing. It's just a set of trees.
For all of you guys that don't see the video,
secret location on the map
literally
ever.
Landscape. Spoilers.
Spoilers,
guys.
It's even black and white. Like you can't tell where the hell it is.
Spoilers.
Exactly. So with that,
Jason, that was gold. That was gold.
Spoiler talk for Ghost of Tsushima, which has been out for like a year now.
Yeah, bro.
I want to thank everybody that crashed game night with us tonight in the chat and just hanging out, lurking in the backgrounds. We appreciate it. All of those that are checking out the our YouTube channel and the podcast audio feed this weekend, thank you as well. It's an absolute honor and pleasure to give you guys a little bit of a distraction from life. As always, if you like what you're heard and this is the first time checking us out, head on over to crashinggamenight.com. Check out our past episodes. Kind of like what we were talking about with God of War. We've got some of our past guests and stuff on there from Adam Harrington, Daniel Masudi, to name a couple. And just guys with everything going on right now with everything, especially with the earthquakes that happened over in the Middle East. Please, everybody, just
prayers. Yeah.
Just be excellent to each other.
That's right. All my nerds. That's right. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for watching. So guys, I know there's a lot of debate going on out there right now for certain, entities out there or politically, driven stuff out there right now. So I would just say, guys, let's try and be a little bit more open. Let's be a little bit more objective and try and maybe see the other side of things. Just to open up dialogue, because we want to we want to try and be kind and be a little patient, show a little bit more kindness and patience, and let's just try and do a little better. So thank you guys. Be safe, and thank you, nerds. Thank you.
Always be safe out there, you guys. It is going to be Super Bowl weekend, so
it's going to get crazy.
It's going to get crazy. Be safe out there. Just one less is okay. By the way, shout outs to one of my friends out there. He's going to give me $20 for Kansas City winning. So, I'm going to put it out there. Put it out there, guys.
Fair enough.
Anyways,
I'm right.
Just be safe this weekend. It is Super Bowl
I like
weekend.
the confidence.
Next week, it is Valentine's. We'll be here probably, I think.
Yes. We will.
Then I will see you then next week. But you guys, if you guys don't catch us next week, have a good Valentine's, have a good Super Bowl, enjoy yourselves, have fun. Don't get too crazy. Get crazy, but not too crazy. And as always, my man, beep, 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 beep. Hit that button, Theo. Hit that button. My man, yes. That's so awesome. Send us out.
Love it. I love it.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFA. Ta-ta for now.